Hey, good morning, guys. Give me 1 second to set this up here, buddy. Get my drink, get started. I learned so much today. I'm so excited. I haven't been on video in a while, so give me a second to clean this up, and I'll be right back, everybody. That'd be good. That'd be good. All right, let me get this other thing started here and make sure Facebook is live now. Okay, everybody, good morning. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I see everybody's on here. I got live Facebook. We got over here. What we want to do today, I wanted to start by saying thank you for being patient while my uncle passed away and I haven't been here in a while, so I had some things to do. My grandmother has power of attorney, so I've been dealing with a lot of things there. But I'm back every Saturday at 10 a.m. along with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have training every week. That's the #1 leads in the industry. I promise you that. So let's just start there. This is what these leads look like when they come to you. They get emailed to you. Obviously, they're demographically speaking, they are the best I've ever run with household incomes. And I've run a lot of leads in my 10-year period in this industry. So I can tell you that these are the best leads out there. Mortgage protection lead is going, but you can demographically do final expense. And what we do with the final expense is make sure that the household income bottom end is $35,000, top end $75,000. Keeping it there allows you to sell more product along with sitting with 2 people. We generally focus on trying to make sure Mr. and Mrs. Jones are in the home so reps can make the sales. So today, what I want to do is I kind of want to interact with some of the people on here and make sure that you are getting what you deserve when you're out in the field. So any of you new reps on here, make sure you're interacting with me, ask the questions, and let's get through this together as we venture into New Year's 2019. And have you done your numbers? Well, your numbers are going to be balanced on a couple of things, and one is the lead flow. I mean, you've got to have it. The lead flow. So I want to put a question mark here and ask you, what do you order weekly? Because this is your advertisement. This is your marketing. I need to ask another question. I don't know if that looks backwards on the screen, but tell me if it does so I can flip the screen around. So you got your leads. And then on top of this, the #2 thing I'm very avid on is knowledge. And you only need several of these. Sorry, guys. you need several products to really get this done. If you're asking what products to use, we can get into that too. But this is a question I ask is, what products have you studied? There's several ways to do that. The carrier will help you learn the products. I tell people to Google about products, and then there's also YouTube. So these 3 ways is how you can really get trained, along with going to your upline. Your upline doesn't even know the products. You know, it depends, depending on who's on here and what agency or IMO you're working through IMO, you never know what your upline's capable of doing in the field. They might be great recruiters, but they might not be great salesmen, so you don't know until you ask. But if they aren't good, you can always go to the carrier, go to Google, go to YouTube. Product knowledge, lead flow. Seriously, what is your lead flow? Because if you tell me it's 10 leads a week, that's just not going to cut it 9 times out of 10. But if you're working 10 A leads and multiple B leads, that's fine. Get any resource. Guys, I started with B leads in the industry. I came from, when I was running these B leads, I was just starting out. And of course, like anybody else, it became more affordable. So I'm sorry about the facts going off while we're doing this. It's just business. So at the end of the day, turn this up. Hey guys, do me a favor. Anybody on here, can you mute out for me, boss? Anybody that's on here, can you mute your mic out for me? All right, so we got the lead flow, we got the product knowledge. Then there's the other side of the puzzle where you got the product knowledge, you got the leads, and then you need to know the sales, the scripts. So we have it all in our back office. So once you join my organization, you get all the scripts, you get all this training. It's all in the back office. Plus you get the live stuff every week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, you're being trained. The appointment setting portion of the puzzle is something I tell people to master. A lot of people want to pawn that off. They don't like it. Who the hell likes making calls? But I want you to remember something. These are not cold calls. And once you place that into your mind, this shit becomes a lot easier to do. So when this individual signed this, they actually asked you for the information. Now, they don't know how this information's coming, but all these people in here want information from us. So that's why they fill it out, is just for the informational side of it. When you contact them, you have to be stern on how you're getting that information over to them. So Mrs. Jones, I'm the rep that handles that area. I'll be in your area at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I need you and Mr. Jones there. Just let them know that this is how it works. Some people already know how life insurance and final expense and mortgage protection works because they've done it before. A lot of people maybe just look shopping, and many are shopping. They're looking for price. They're looking for the lowest price for the highest payout. But what they're missing, and you have to bring to the table, is value. Once you bring this to the table, this low price shit doesn't matter anymore. They understand it. You can sell higher premiums, guys. You can go in and easily walk away with $300, $500, even up to $1,000. And a lot of this strategy here in these larger numbers are basically 2 things. Replacing policies that they have existingly, using that premium, while bringing value, got living benefits, got high interest rates, or even interest rates at all, or at least getting them their money back. If you use the term, use the ROP. If it's 50 and below, get them their money back. It's a simple process, but know what's inside the product. Not just that a lot of you are just learning death benefit and cost and premium. These 2 things aren't going to bring value. You need to know what's inside that product that brings the value. So this is why product knowledge, there's not enough of it, to be honest with you, across the nation. Everybody's just recruiting the hell out of people. Go to work. Go to work on what? Death benefit and cost? So what are you going to sell? $50 app? Maybe 80? These are the averages out there, 50 and 80. Not 300, 500, 1,000. So the second one is replacing policies. And some people, a lot of people in mortgage protection want you to pay off their home. So they'll add money monthly to their mortgage. And what I tell them to do is, instead of adding money to their mortgage, I'll track them to the car. Because the number one thing they're trying to do is pay off the house for the kids. So if we're paying an extra $1,000 a month on their mortgage to try to get it done in 2 years or so, you can easily use a portion Even if you use 500. Guys, mute out, please. Can everybody mute out for me? Everybody mute, everybody mute out. So we got $500 a month that now you can use, and they still have $500 a month going towards their benefit, their mortgage. Now, what I do is sometimes I try to find people the equity to show them. If I ask this question to Mrs. Jones inside the home, I say, Mrs. Jones, are you going to stay here if he's no longer here? Because 9 times out of 10, it's about her. He has more, she has less. Mrs. Jones, would you stay here if Mr. Jones is no longer living in his home? He's, God forbid, he's no longer here. He's passed on. He's with God right now. Are you going to stay in his home? And if the answer is no, then what I want to show is the equity in the home. And all you need to do for this number is whatever the monthly mortgage is, let's say it's $1,000 a month. Half of that goes towards the equity. It's an easy way to figure out equity. So that's $6,000 a year. And over 10 years, it's $60,000. Plus, you can bump it by 30% interest, which is 3% every year. So then you can share with them, look, this house is going to be worth $85,000. If, God forbid, he passes in the next 10 years, let's say this guy's 65, he dies at 75, there's $85,000 we want you to walk out the door with. This sale is different because this is about buying time. The simplicity behind here is this is a low policy. You need $25,000. You need $50,000. But in majority of cases that people are running, we're working with 50 to 80-year-old individuals. I mean, people are still buying houses at age 80, 50 to 80 years of age. So their lifeline is less and they can pass away at any time, and you want to use their health and age today. Somebody gives you an objection, I want to think about it. Here's the problem I have with that, or they say, do we have time to think about this? Not really. I mean, God forbid you walk out that door, go to the doctor, and he comes back with a bad rap sheet on you, and your health is down the tubes. I can't do these numbers anymore. So why don't we do this? Let's get the paperwork started. Let's just qualify you. There's no money necessary for that. Let's get you qualified, and before the money goes through, we'll contact you and let you know that you got qualified. Do you want to pursue? That's a great way to push people into a policy without having to worry about coming back at another day. That's ridiculous. You got one shot. You walk out that door, there is no other time to come in, unless you're bringing back an indexed annuity illustration or something like that. And remember, I know a lot of managers out there want to keep this simple, but if you guys ever want big numbers, you got to remember that annuities are mortgage protection too. There's not just the premiums that you can use from, regular policies. I don't want to get too far into this and get too far off track, but annuities can be used to protect mortgages. And a lot of times I'm able to use the bonus to pay off the mortgage. I'm working with one now that's $2.5 million. Now, would you believe that this would pay me somewhere in the ranges of about $200,000? Can you believe one sale is worth 200 grand? Is that incredible? Now, I haven't landed this yet. This takes a lot of work. Now, here's the issue with these. Getting away from your stockbroker is the biggest challenge. So if you want to sell annuities, you got to get prepared. You want to be the master at it, you better come with some real evidence of the future, the past. You better know the product somewhat, at least, you don't have to know many details about the product, but you got to know what the hell it's offering and doing for them on a basis. And it'd be better if you can master everything. So we're in a field that nobody gets and nobody really understands and teaches on when they hire you. If I were to hire you, I'm going to say, number one, you've got to have lead flow. You're not getting into this business with me without marketing your business. I'm not hiring. I'm not bringing you in. Number two, you must understand that you're in an educational business, meaning you have to study. You're like a doctor and lawyer. This shit never ends. It literally take years to learn it all. Years of studying and training. That's why everybody gets into here. And within 30 days, they imagine themselves earning $10,000 a month instead of doing it within the first 6 months, 3 months to a year. and really giving themselves some time. But the issue stands that most people get into this business wanting to make big money, and they don't have enough money to fund it. So if this is an issue, you need to find a way. How do you find a way to get into this business? You got a job. I work on side construction. So swinging a hammer while I'm trying to get this gig done. I was even doing it while I was studying for the state exam, and I would record the videos and listen to them on my headset while I was working. So this job thing can get you the leads. When do you work? You work in the evenings. You work on the weekends. Another thing that can help you is if any of you have a significant other, they're sitting on their ass not doing anything, working a job, they need to get involved with what you're doing. They really, really need to get involved with your dreams and their dreams being fulfilled. If they don't understand that working that 9 to 5 isn't going to fulfill all their dreams, everything that you visualize in your mind, all these vision boards, everything that you've ever wanted is in your hands if you can challenge people to do it with you, because you can't do it alone. You've got to delegate this stuff out. So at the end of the day, what we need to understand is delegation, getting your wife involved. And now I know for guys, that's not easy, man. It took me 6 years before she got involved, and she's been involved for about 4 or 5 now, which the numbers have shot through the roof. You know, they really have. So if you don't have this, it's okay, because I didn't have it at one time too. You can still easily, there's proof of people doing 6-figure incomes without question. You know what I mean? But delegate it out if you can. Get your significant other involved. Now, a lot of people are on here to understand sales and leads. Leads are simple. They are a marketing resource for any business. Any business needs them. If you opened up a restaurant, you need marketing. You open up a health club, a bar, it doesn't matter, a mechanic shop, you need marketing. When you get into this business and they hire you and they say, oh, we got leads for you to give you all these garbage leads to dial, you get frustrated because you're new. You want to make the money that the big guys are making. You want to do it now, but you don't have the education. So with me, it's slow down and go faster, and you will get there. You eventually get there. And look, let me ask you a question. Even if it took you 5 years, let's say it took you 2 years to get to your dreams, a 6-figure income, let's say it's $250,000, $500,000. Would you sacrifice that 2 years? You got 2 choices. You could sacrifice it to a 9 to 5. You could sacrifice it to something else you can do in life, or you could sacrifice to an industry that's proven to make regular people a lot of money working 4 days a week, 3 days a week. And you can work 7 days a week if you want, and I basically do. But I love it. You know what I mean? It's not a job to me. I'm not frustrated about this. It never has been. It's been so passionate to pick up the phone and call Mrs. Jones. I want to do something for her. I love the fact that I have this. This is awesome. I mean, this is absolutely cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? When these leads weren't so abundant, I might have 10 of them, but I call them 100 times, 7 different ways. You know what I mean? And then I beat on their door. I did anything I was told to do, basically. And a lot of the shit in the home didn't really work out, but when it came to dialing and just working, these guys were good at just pushing us to work, you know, back in the day. They were very tough back in the day. You just tell you, grab some leads and go to work. That was how you started out in business. These days, everybody wants it for nothing. They want to put the time in. So let's take it from here to here. This timeline is, let's take it from, this is day 1 to day 30. In the next 30 days, what will you do to make money? You got bills, you got what? Most of you have anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 a month you've got to come up with. So that's frustrating. Jay, I only have $1,000 to work with. That's all I've saved. Okay, well, what the hell? It ain't doing no good sitting in the bank. It ain't growing no more, right? So let's get it out. Let's take the shot. I'd rather go sink the ship hardcore, failing. I know I put all the effort I put in, but I wouldn't do this unless I had a lot of product knowledge either, because your failure is not going to come door to lead. We get you in front of people. Your failure is going to come to when you're in the house and you're fumbling the ball because you don't know what the hell to do. You don't know what to say. you're not trained up yet. So we need to get you trained. While you're getting contracted any organization, you should be taking from day one to a week or two later when you get contracted, you should have all that knowledge that you need right in that time period. Now, there's more to come, but the basics are real simple. In mortgage protection, you could be taught to sell one product and make it in this business. One product and you can make it in this business. And people do it. And I can confirm it. And they do big numbers. You realize that there's people that have been tossed out of carriers. They're not allowed to sell certain carriers that you're allowed to sell anymore. Maybe they fumbled the ball. Maybe they did something wrong, but I know of them. And they still do numbers of $200,000 to $500,000 a year. And some do more through recruiting. But they don't have the carriers you have. You have them all, and these guys are still blowing you out of the door. And these are harder carriers to sell, products to sell. So what's the difference is basically sales knowledge, and that comes through practice. You got to get in front of these people. You got to fail a few times to become very successful with this. So when you're in front of these individuals and you walk out the door with nothing, you don't walk out with nothing. You walked out with a lot. You got major education out of that. But what did you do with that education? Did you contact your upline? Think about your upline. Are they really smart? I mean, do they understand how to get you from point A to point B very quickly? Faster than most. And I mean quickly in this industry. This is not a day-by-day thing. It is a day-by-day thing as you go through the process. Of course, it's just life, but you have to give yourself time. You just got to put it in your mind. I'm going to give myself a little bit of time. I always say I'm going to give myself 2 years, and if it doesn't work by then get it. Guess what? It took me longer than 2 years to figure it all out. You know what I mean? By IMOs, agencies out there I was recruited by. I mean, I've been to 10 different organizations, guys. How many have you been through? And I sorted all of them, but I knew that there was always better out there. So I think that the biggest problem is that it's lack of knowledge, product knowledge. That's huge. So I do want you for this week, I want you to take 2 products, maybe 3, and get on the carriers. Get with the carriers and get into their back offices. They got videos. They have all the brochures you should read. If you haven't written an app yet, you need to get an app in front of you and practice writing the app. If you don't know any scripts, get the knockout scripts. Just know what the knockout scripts are at least. So if you prescription drug table, you automatically know what's going to knock stuff out. You fall back on whatever you have, AIG, or things like that, or just a rated product, whatever you got to fall back on. But you got your product knowledge now. And second is that you got to master the phones. The phones are not that. Let me get another pen. The phones are simple. And Mrs. Jones will call on behalf. Some people have different scripts. I always get shit for this when I say this. Calling on behalf of ABC Bank. You do whatever script you want. This one works for me. Confirming that they filled out something that's related to their bank is all I'm trying to tell them. And I get them to understand I'm associated with fixing their problem through that lead that they sent me. That makes them feel a lot more comfortable knowing I'm associated to something that they know. And that helps you make these sales, and it builds rapport a little bit right from the start. The great part about not having an appointment setter is you start building rapport right out of the gates, and that's very helpful. I'm moving, so it's the 14th. I'm out of here. I got a new place. So at the end of the day, what do we need? Product knowledge, phone knowledge. Phones are fun to use. That damn phone's like a Jedi sword. I'm telling you, it's a weapon if you use it. If you watch The Boiler Room or The Wolf of Wall Street, those guys' weapon wasn't sales, it was phones. They just outperformed everybody. They dialed and dialed and dialed. This dialing thing, you got 200 dials a week. Do you really do 200 dials a week? You realize you're in sales. You're not in the market of you don't just become a millionaire, or very rich by becoming a life insurance rep. You got to take massive action. So sales comes best. Guys, mute your phone, please. Whoever's not muted out, please mute your phone out, please. You got 200,000 a week. You got to make sales through education on products. So your next level of business would be what? Recruiting. I don't want to get too far off the subject, but I'm just laying out the land here, man. You got to get education. You got to have steady lead flow. You got to learn the education on the products. You got to learn the in-home sales process, which isn't that hard. Building rapport to the point of trust is nothing less but what you do every damn day to get what you want. You go buy a car, you're going to wheel and deal with the salesman. Hold on, man. Hey, Terry Penn, are you the one that's noisy or anybody? I can't figure out who I'm from. Let me see if I can mute these out. Mute. All right, I think that worked. Okay, anyway, recruiting. Recruiting is, man, it's, through what I do, I get calls like 15, 20 calls a week because of all the online presence, which I only started for a small group. I just wanted to help a few people, and then it turned into this massive thing online, and I get all these calls. I don't take everybody. I don't want everybody. People will text me. I always say, text me, join. And then I contact them back immediately, and then there's no response. So obviously I'm not going to work with these people. They get back to me in 2 weeks, and it's like, now you text me join 2 weeks ago. You can tell who's not going to be a part of this business or this industry, and they're not going to work it out. So don't recruit everybody. All you need is a few good men, you know what I mean, or women. So a few, 5 to 10 people within this number, especially 10, if the numbers and spreads are right, you can easily do $250K a year. Off of 10 people with the right spreads. You get 30, 20% spreads between them. And this industry has gotten bamboozled by high comp levels. You should not be looking for high comp levels. You should be looking for the right platform. You didn't earn high comp levels. You didn't earn it. What the hell are you looking for? You think just because of the comp level that you're going to be able to make more money. That's not a fact. What you need is more education. You need a better lead resource. You need a steady flow of leads. And you need somebody to constantly be teaching you, constantly be educating you. If it's not there at your group, you're doomed. You're never going to break where you're at right now, and you're never going to get anywhere in the higher margins of the six-figure incomes. So if you ever want to break the $500,000 mark, you're going to need some serious help and some serious education, because it's not easy. And I applaud every man and woman that has done it, who has become a millionaire in this industry. You can become a recruiter and do it anywhere. That's not, that's easy, but you're hurting people along the way. That I'm not cool with. You can recruit a massive amount of people. You can get 50 people to 100 people a week, and you could be hiring 20 to 30 of these people a week, of which 3 to 5 of them work on sales. The rest of them are out there getting hurt. They're spending all their money because they're not being told what to do. And it's not always your fault. It could be easily their fault too, by not following what you're telling them to do. And I'm telling you right now, the number one issue with many reps is the bottom line is they just aren't taking action on their own. You're always dependent upon your upline to do things for you. I screw my upline. I don't want anything to do with them. They don't want, they just, sometimes in an organization, they don't help. They don't want to be a part of something fantastic, something that's educated, wants to move, wants to learn. I would take a guy like me and I would pour all kinds of energy into me, but at the end of the day, that's the people you're looking for, is the high energy, the guys that are contacting you, texting you, and just basically making the moves. Now, they may not be making money, but through that energy, it's your job to educate them so they can make money. And the bottom line is you got, even if you're at 10%, you got a guy that's doing $10,000 a month or even a week, that's $1,000 extra for you. There's your leads, or part of your leads. By the way, spending $500 to $1,000 might scare a lot of you, but I spend $2,000 to $3,000. How often do you think I spend that? Is that a month or a week? Anybody know? And through anybody on this webinar too, by the way, I really, really want to start interacting with some of you to get you out there. Some of you have been with me for a long time, and I've seen $0 come through. We need to figure what is wrong with you, okay? We need to put something on paper, put it in front of you, and say, that's what I need to do today. Not that, I need to do this. Because you're just running around in circles. I know a lot of you want the magic bullet and think I'm going to give you the answer that's going to get you money. And I am, but you have to take action, guys. You got to take massive action. There's so much money to be made in this industry, you just can't even fathom. You know, if you're not making the money, somebody else is. You're the one that should be in the house selling that deal, not some other rep who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. You should be. Why? Because you know how to help Mr. and Mrs. Jones better. You can do the job better than the other guys can, the other women can. So why aren't you doing it? Your lead flow? That's a sorry excuse, and I'm tired of hearing it. Lead flow isn't a problem. There's $4 leads out there. There's 50-cent leads out there. You know, go get something and start dialing them, or go to their house. You realize over the phone they're going to be a little tougher. You go to their house, they weak it up instantly. Boom, you filled this out. I'm in the area. Let me just show you how. Let me give you an idea how this would work to protect Mrs. Jones. There's Mrs. Jones right on the couch. I point right to her. Mrs. Jones, I'm here to just make sure Mr. Jones is leaving you enough to protect you from the loss of the equity in the house. If you got final expense leads and you start saying words like equity, that starts thinking except, you know, aside from the burial and the cremation, I didn't think about the house. So yes, I have $10,000. Shit, I forgot I have a mortgage. If I leave and she can't afford it, she's going to lose the house. So let's protect the equity, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Final expense is an awesome field. I mean, it's a magnificent way to get into the industry. I know a lot of you want to get into the mortgage protection side of it, but you don't even have to. Final expense will make you plenty of money as long as you got steady lead flow. What are you doing? Why are you not ordering leads? I just don't understand. You keep saying I don't have any money, but I want you to do yourself a favor. Nobody's going to do this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If somebody would come back to me next week and show me that they did this, I could prove something to you, which is this. Keep every receipt from this day to the next 7 days and add up your receipts. You want to find money? You do that over 4 weeks. And believe me, you're going to find an extra $300 to $500. Blunt, spent. You don't see it. How much? Look at this. I think the price is on here. 99 cents. I think I want to know. I bought 5 of these. That's $5. But I do that every 2 or 3 days. Why aren't you buying gallons? Well, because I drink out of this, right? That's not booze. That's iced tea. So we want to keep the receipts, and really, you know, I'm challenging you to do this. You're complaining that you don't have the money to afford leads and do this business. It's not true. You're lying to yourself. You got the money. Do the math. Keep the receipts. You should be keeping your receipts anyway. By the way, if you all don't have the right tax person, you need to contact us, because I can guarantee you, on average, I'm saving reps up to $10,000 a year on their taxes and life insurance reps using our tax person. If you got to do your taxes right, okay? This is a business. All of you on here right now own a company. You own your own company. It might not be brick and mortar, but it is a business. And the great part about it is you get to run it from your house. And I would only pray for one thing, is that you take action this week and really follow through on some of these things I'm saying. I want to open the mic up a little bit, talk to you guys a little bit. If you have any comments on Facebook, please just go ahead and comment. Where do you get $4 leads? And good morning, Jason. We have $4 leads. By the way, I want to remind you guys that I don't know many organizations that don't do this, by the way. Most organizations' A leads are recycled within 6 months. So in 6 months, the lead that you spent let's see, if it's mortgage protection, let's go 30 to 50 bucks. You spend 30 to 50 bucks on, and that particular lead ends up in another rep's hands within 6 months. How fair is that? What the hell is that? You spend all this money so they can recycle it. Why? Because our industry has changed. There's no more education. There's no more sitting down in big groups and getting the guy that made some money on the chalkboard or on the whiteboard. What's happening is if you get into a mass recruiting, you got the MLM business we're dealing with it right now. That's why high compensations are leading the way, and they're leading people to nowhere. Absolute disaster. And then when somebody contacts me and I say, listen, you're getting 100% contract level, but here's what I can prove. I can prove that people at that level are doing $10,000 and $20,000 a month, and some are doing that weekly. So would you rather have $10,000 or $20,000 a month or continue the pathway that you're on because you think that you deserve 120% comp level or 130, which is a dream. Somebody just gave it to you to recruit your ass. And they believe that their little spread of 5% on you was going to make them rich by doing it 100 times. And it's, you got to get this right, man. You got to start thinking in your head that my 120%, what does that earn you? What does that really get you without the best leads in the industry, the right platform? What does that get you? It gets you nowhere. I've been there. I've done it. You don't think... Well, Debbie, why don't you open your mic up and I'll tell you. So everybody can hear. Debbie, open your mic up, buddy. Just say hello and I'll know you're on.
Hello.
Hi, Debbie. Hold on one second. Jason, you'd have to contact me, buddy. There's $4 leads is what we have, and I want to get into that. So our A leads are never recycled, but our B leads are an outside third-party vendor with awesome leads. They're anywhere from 30 days to 6 months old. Most of yours are 2 to 4 years. They will tell you that they're 30 and 6 months old, 2 to 4 years old that you're running. It's okay. I've run 4-year-old lead. Look, by the time they were sold the first time, it's time to re-up because your own clients can become clients again the very next year. It's called a policy review. Contact your old client, say, hey, listen, is there anything else I can do for you? We're going to do a policy review. Now, just say we're going to do a policy review. We want to come out and check your policy out. You can't really do that with guaranteed issue people so much as you can. But, even if they have policies, maybe you remember that they had a 401k or 403b. You can get out there with an illustration. While you're in the house, were you taking notes? Are you learning about these people? When I tell you to scribble all over a piece of paper, that's for their benefit and yours. You got to be coaching, man, at all times in the house. Debbie, what was the question anyway, Debbie, again?
How do you buy your leads?
Oh, well, first of all, we own a lead house, okay? So we create the leads. We've become smart in the industry many, many years ago to understand that all the leads that you were getting that I used to get too at all these different companies are third party. They're outside, so that you never know what the hell you're getting. We create the leads in-house. So we know the list, we know the demographics, we know the ages, we know the zip codes, we know they're white, black, Hispanic, we know everything about them. And that creates the number one lead that you can create today. You can't get any better than the way we're doing it. There's no way to get better. So I have my own leads. I get them through me, Debbie. So it's jcleadpro.com.
How do we get them? Like if I wanted to order them, do we just go through you?
Yes. Are you on my team, Debbie, or are you through somebody else?
No, I'm not on anything. I just got a text message to say join your meeting, so I'm not really sure.
You would have had to text again, like I just said. That's another one of those things where I said somebody had texted me join, and if I go through my phone, Debbie, it'll prove that you had somewhere down the line seen me on Facebook or something. It's okay.
Yeah.
But that's how we got connected.
Okay.
That's okay because we're connected now. And I want to tell you after this, if you text me, once you text me over leads, and then we'll discuss that over the phone with you. But here's how we get them, guys. You go to www.jcleadpro.com. You're not going to get the price I can get you. So you have to go through me, and I'll know if you contact them anyway, because they're going to call me and say, Jay, did you send this person? So you're not here to wheel and deal, because they just won't. I know the owners. So JC lead says for Jeff and Chris, Lead Pro, who Jeff is part of the lead company. He gets paid through Advantage One Brokers, which is allowing Advantage One Brokers to be the only company, literally the only company, allowing these leads to be at cost of what we get them, because he gets paid through ADV1. I'm not going to tell you what he gets paid, but he makes great money doing the lead. So anyway, long story short, Chris created this, I believe through an inheritance that he got, and getting tired of all the bullshit leads out there, he created this company for his own company, which was Advantage One Brokers, which is absolutely genius. And this is why we are killing the market. This is why people are coming to us. Not just this, but because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, final expense training every Monday. Tuesday, mortgage protection training every Tuesday. Wednesday, annuities and IULs every Wednesday. Saturday, with me. This is the training. This is open mic night, you know. So Debbie, you can go check it out at www.jcleadpro.com for now. Text me over leads, and what I'll do is I'll contact you after this when I get some time, and I'll review what you should be doing, okay? Now, are you licensed, Debbie? Yeah?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. I am.
What state are you in?
Colorado.
Okay, you're Colorado. And are you currently with any IMOs or agencies at this moment?
I am. You know, I'm not as successful, I guess, as you guys are.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah.
I'm not open up to that. But at the end of the day, you're going to go through hell if you're new at this. It can be. You're going to just spend money, and you're not going to get the right leads. You got to have the right lead resources, guys. Look, the final expense leads, the tele leads are $15, okay? But these are American speaking, and they do, if you listen to these scripts and the recording of this, they're getting the job done, man. They're doing it right. When you contact them, they know your name. A lot of companies don't do it that way. They really just fumble the ball. They know that the color's purple for their security question, or their favorite hobby or whatever. So you have that backing you up when you call. Hey, Mrs. Jones, I'm calling because you had requested some information on final expense information yesterday. It's like 24 hours old. How can you lose? What's up?
Yeah, I cut it a little short today. Rick's working on your bike.
Okay, yeah, I'll be out now. So at the end of the day, you got somebody, and Mrs. Jones, I'm calling. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call that you received yesterday. Excuse me, because when I train, I get a little off. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call that you had received yesterday on that final expense information you had requested. I'm the rep that handles your area. My name's Jason already. I'll be in your area tomorrow, 2 p.m., already handling some other people in your area. Would it be okay if I stop by around 1 o'clock? Should be there. And by the way, Mrs. Jones, is there a Mr. Jones? I'll just continue talking. A lot of you just ask questions and you're waiting for answers. My secret to the game is sales is weird because a lot of coaches will teach people to shut up and listen. In this industry, it's not that way. You better talk your ass off. You better constantly be coaching. All the time, coach. Don't lose these people, man, because they don't know anything. The bottom line is, and the great part about for new people, this was great for me when I was new, is remember, they don't know that you don't know yet. So when you're new, you're still a professional. You know more than them. You got your life insurance license. Whole life, term. That's all you need to learn, right? Now you got the products. If you have any problems, call the carriers up. A lot of you feel that you're stuck in the home and you need to, guess your way through this or fumble through your products. Call the carriers and start eliminating things. That's the only way you can learn, guys. If your upline doesn't, now with us, you have Voxer. So I keep putting in Voxer, you text over, I have a 56-year-old male smoker, diabetic, what product would work? Boom. Within 30 seconds, you're getting an answer back. That's what's cool about us. You know what I mean? A lot of companies are doing this, but they're not leading into the right products to build more value. What's up?
We have cheat sheets too.
We have cheat sheets too. Cheat sheets will help you in the home like you can't believe. So these cheat sheets we create, I'm creating a lot of stuff. Guys, I'm on chapter 12 of the book I wrote for life insurance reps to do this in-home. It has everything in it. Now, I got to get it published, but once this is opened up, this book is going to be incredible for everybody out there. It really is good. I've had a few people read it, and it's like incredible stuff. It's material. Because I'm giving it to you from a life insurance point of view. Remember, I'm still doing what you're doing. I'm not the guy out of the field coaching you. I'm the guy in the field coaching you. So that's the benefit of having me doing this with you, is because I'm still doing it with you. Once you get a hold of the Voxer, if you didn't get a hold of anybody on Voxer, what's your next step? What would you do if you were stuck in a home? I can't get a hold of anybody. What do I do? Call the carrier. Keep this. You take notes on this. Listen, next week I want all of you fresh. I want you in front of a desk, a table, get a notebook out, and start taking notes on this stuff. When every training I ever went to, I was the guy, man, I had notes like crazy. I'd write everything down, man. And then, you know what? Just by writing it, it just echoed into my head. If I didn't write it down, now I know a lot of you might be driving or just busy and listening to this, that's okay. But next week, try to challenge yourself to be in front of a notebook, and every week, add on to it. And every week, we'll get a little more. Now, when you become a part of our group, you have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So final expense, mortgage protection, indexed annuities, and IULs. You're being trained by top guys in the industry. This guy did very well that week. He's training you that week. He did 10 grand at least. That's the bottom line to be on this training. You got to do 10K to train at our organization. So anybody you're talking to did 10K, and a hell of a lot more. You realize what I just told you? Remember I told you I have $2.5 million on the line. That's roughly a $200,000 deal or more. One sale, I'm going to speak positively, is going to make me 200 grand. Now, do you understand that you run into the same thing too, and you just don't even know it? So you're walking past, and all those people you thought didn't have money, you fooled yourself. They got cash stuffed away somewhere. You just need to learn how to fish it out, okay? But let's stick with the basics and make sure that you're getting paid daily and weekly. And that's why anybody trying to get into the mortgage protection market should start in the final expense market and lead your way into mortgage protection, because you need to master final expense anyway to become a great fabulous mortgage protection sales rep. Because at the end of the day, you're going to fall back on more final expense these days than you will the top products that you think you're going to be selling. A lot of you think I'm going to be selling, I'm going to give them ROP term, I'm going to give them great IUL products, but guess what? Their health doesn't allow it. It doesn't mean you can't make more money, because at the end of the day, you get paid more on final expense than you do on IULs usually. You can't beat out your term products. And if you really want to make some great money, you go through the term products, because I give you 100% comp level, you probably have 120% with the term. With this, what are you sacrificing? Because those of you out there at 120 saying, this guy's out of his mind, I would never work for 120. Keep doing what you're doing. And you always get what you get. You got to change up your mind. You're going to pay me a little bit. I'm not giving this to you forever. Because my challenge is to my reps is do two $10,000 months in a row, and you're getting bumped by 10. You do two $20,000 months in a row, you get bumped by 5. You do two $30,000 months, and guess what? That challenge works. You realize how many people are striving. Now they got something to work for. You at 120% have nothing to work towards. All you have to work towards is, I got to make some sales. You would be better challenged at 100% trying to get this 10, get this 10, and get this 5, 5, 5. That's challenging you. And you're getting the right support. None of you out there can say that you have the right support. You can't say it, because it's not true. And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, you're on here for a reason. You're here. You know what I mean? It just tells you that you're looking for something else. Now, I don't want to piss anybody off, but at the end of the day, you got to have these resources. But number 2, what am I going to say number 2 is again? You got to know your product. I'm not talking about the carriers. I'm talking about, don't go studying the carriers too, but I'm literally talking about what these products have. What do we have? Usually we have interest earned on cash value. We have living benefits. We have member benefits. That's all you need to learn is those three. And they usually go for the term and UL products or IUL products are all the same. They all work about the same with this shit. So, when you're in the house, you don't have to change it up too much. You say, yeah, the living benefits, if you have cash value, it's in between 3%. Mutual loans, GUL is at 3% guaranteed. Great product. GUL and GUL Express with mortgage protection is an awesome product to guarantee them to get to death. The living benefits, if God forbid you had cancer, heart attack, or stroke, you get the money, a portion of the money while you're alive. If you can't walk, talk, bathe, eat, dress, toilet, transfer yourself around, I even say drive a car, there's 8 different ways to get this money, along with cancer, heart attack, or stroke. Why did they do that? Because they did it for the working man that would be out of work for mortgage protection. So, Mr. Jones, I know you're 65 and 70, but if God forbid you look into your family tree, you got to have all angles covered. You know what I'm saying? Get them to picture their family tree and go through the list of people who had heart attack, cancer, stroke. Get this thing sold because you can sell these products based on living benefits. You can sell products on cash value. Why is cash value so important? It's because, and living benefits. Here's why. It's because all the products that you're taught to sell come with a benefit of being beneficial for 2 people. Both parties in the house will receive something out of this product. And that means that the living benefit is based on both of them, 2 parties, 2 people, husband and wife. Now, that's great to have these living benefits because you get cancer, heart attack, or stroke. You get some money while he's alive. Now, the cash value, let's talk about this cash value thing that you're fumbling the ball on. A lot of you talking about, here's $50, here's $80, here's $100. This one gives you $10,000, this one gives you $5,000, and this one gives you $3,000. Which one would you choose, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? That's how you sell them. That's how you're taught to sell. And that's okay up front in the beginning, but once you become masterful, you're going to get away from this shit. You're going to start telling them, here's what you must pay. You must pay me $300, you must pay me $500, you must pay me $750 to protect your family. That's what that carrier needs. And guess what? It's going into cash value interest earned money. So, Mr. Jones, if Mrs. Jones passes away, you're just going to cash the damn thing in. It's another retirement schedule for both you if you pay off the house early. Mr. Jones, you said you wanted to pay off the house early. Let's get this house paid off, and I'll tell you, here's how I don't want to get too far into this because this is more advanced stuff. But here, I'm going to give you this real quickly. I can get any home refinanced, 9 out of 10 homes refinanced or new mortgages paid off in 15 to 20 years for them, paying the same mortgage. So if they're paying $1,000 a month and they do the biweekly payment arrangement, they just have to pay $500 and $500, and then the home will be paid off because interest will be down. Banks getting more money faster, and they will get it paid off in 15 or 20 years. Doing bi-weekly payment arrangements. You got to get them to contact their mortgage company to get this done. But what this does is this tells them that in 15 years, my home is paid off using the same premium mortgage money, and I'm shoveling $300 a month into another retirement schedule. Because here's the bottom line. You can't sell on death. A little bit of that makes sense to people. But can you visualize death? Can you say, hey, I'm really worried about dying today? You know what I mean? You're not. You just think it's another day. You could be snatched out at any time, but you're not worried about it, and either are they. What they are concerned about is the retirement. Number one fear in the world is retirement, not even death. It's lack of having money, period. If you can get them coached up on how to maneuver their money, all you're doing is coaching them to maneuver some money into a different position because they do have it. They have it. How do you know that? Well, I asked. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I don't mean to get too personal, But for me to help you, this would help me. If you wouldn't mind answering this question. At the end of the month, would you say you guys have above or below $1,000 a month left over after all your bills are paid off? We have above. So would you say we're closer to 2,000? Yes. Okay, so this, I assume this money goes into the bank, or do you still use this money? Because a lot of people tell you they got money left over, and they really don't. They're still using it. I put some in the bank. So what is left over? Oh, we got about $1,000 a month left over. And the reason you want to do this is for budget. You want to make sure that this fits in the budget. So this budget here of $500 is $500 toward your life product and $500 in those savings. This is $6,000 a year in savings. This is $6,000 a year in protected savings. Protection and savings. Why? Because if he gets cancer, heart attack, or stroke, boom, you get paid a big number. If your wife passes away, you're just going to cash this in and you'll have this backup plan here. 10 years, that's 60 grand. In 10 years of cash value, that might be, 40, 50 grand. Because some of it's going towards the death benefit. This is a $100,000 policy, Mr. Jones. You have a mortgage that's $200,000. So what we need to do is you must last 15 years. I'm talking about life. I'm getting him prepared to go with distance. You got to last 15 years. Mr. Jones, you can be here around in 15 years. You got 15 years in you, boss? Yeah, I got it. I'm going to make it 20, 30 years. I'm going to outbeat everybody. That's it. They want to talk about life. So if you can maneuver your sales position yourself in a manner of speaking about life, using these products for life events, not death. The death is a benefit. It's a product it's in the product. But if you could speak about life events and how to use this money for life, you're going to make bigger sales. People want to invest into their retirement. They want to invest into their loved ones, but they want to know what it does. They want a value. Why in the hell would you buy something that has no value? You know what I mean? It brings nothing to you. A lot of you go around selling these small products because you don't understand that you realize that most of you are selling you might sell a $20,000 policy for $100 a month for somebody when you could have got them $50,000 through one of the GULs or UL products. That will make it till death. As long as these people are older, no index universal life or UL product the cost of insurance won't matter. It takes at least 20 years to dissolve a policy to 30 years with the higher interest rates. You got 8 to 9% on F&G, cash value, and you can really teach them how to overfund it anyway. So, Mr. Jones, did you know that inside my own product, I put an extra $500 a month away on top of the $200 that they asked for? It's the same. Why am I not going to take advantage of that interest level? I want to have big money when I retire. So when you come work for me, I'm also going to teach you and coach you how to make a retirement schedule for you using small numbers to create large numbers for your retirement, because you yourself are not prepared for retirement. You're working your ass off just to pay your bills. What are you going to do in 30 years? Where are you going to be in 20 years? Oh, how old are you? You 30, you 40, you 50? And you're looking for sales, a couple bucks a week? We got to get started, guys. We got to stop fucking around and really put some passion towards this and wake up tomorrow, wake up right now, and start now. After this, start your product knowledge. Where are you going, man? What are you doing? If you're driving around or if you're sitting around watching TV, eating Cheetos, get off the couch. While you're watching the movie, get your laptop out and at least get something in front of you to study. I want you to always have a laptop or phone in front of you that has information about your products on it at all times. I want you to go through your products, get your folders ready, order your folders. I want you this week to order no less than 10 leads. No less than 10, but I want to challenge you to go for 20 and 30. And that doesn't have to be 80 leads, okay? I'm just saying, get the numbers up. Market the hell out of yourself. Here's the problem with you all, is that week one didn't work out. I put money in it, these leads didn't work. No shit. You got to put 4 weeks effort. What do you think, a company's built overnight? Any business that you would start would take years of marketing to grow, to even break even. There's all kinds of debt There's the property, there's taxes, there's the light bill, there's the rental fees, there's insurances. There's all kinds of, you don't even have any of these bills to pay. All you have is one, you know, you got field money, gas and shit like that, but you got one bill to pay really, and that's your lead flow. I'm sorry if you got hired into this industry and nobody told you that, but the fact of the matter is that you don't get licensed in this industry and just go out there and start selling. Okay, you must have lead flow. So, let's see if there's any more questions. So what I want to ask you is, let's see here. Let me ask. Does anybody have? Give me some questions. What can I help you with? Whoever's on here right now, tell me where are you struggling at? What can we talk about that you need help with? And open up, man. Don't be afraid of this. Just please open up. And let's discuss what you need help with. Where could we make you better? Or how can we, this week or this month, get you defined to make more money? Let's help you make more money. What can we do for you? I have the education. All you need to do is ask. Who's first? Terry Penn, you going to start? Debbie? Who else we got? Dwayne, you need help with anything? I see you here, man. I see you.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up? I'm just listening to you, give you knowledge and everything. Need that. No, I suck at setting appointments. I really do. I suck at setting appointments. I'm getting better, but I suck.
And the truth will set him free. You know what I'm
honest. I'm honest about everything I do.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you something. When I come to when I used to come to the table just like that, and I said, yeah, I'm a disaster. I can't do this. How do you do it the way you do it? Because I would see people doing what I wanted to do, and it became. Yeah. But here's maybe the issue too. The bottom line is I need to know what you're saying. Here's a good hint on script. I got a video that's on YouTube that you can watch, which is my girl setting appointments. So if you haven't seen that, go to my YouTube page and watch that video with a girl setting appointments in. That'll help you. Number two is that we do live at 30 a.m. But for Dwayne, let me give you a little hint. This is what I want to go over with you later on. We'll talk about this more. But if I had, are you doing final expense, Dwayne?
Final expense.
Okay, so we're doing final expense, and what style of lead is it? Is it a tele lead? Is it an order?
I get B leads and tele leads.
B and tele leads, and the tele leads are obviously new. Now, this is a good question too. When you get that tele lead, do you know how old it is? Is it 24 hours? Is it 36 hours? 72 hours old?
No older than 72. No older than 72.
So, you know, when you're dialing it, here's the bottom line. It's real simple. Mrs. Jones, there. Hello. Okay. Hi. My name's Dwayne. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call that you received the other day about final expense information. I'm the rep that handles that area. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm delivering that information to everybody in that area. I'm going to be by your house. Would it be okay if I stop by about 1 o'clock to visit with you at that time and Mr. Jones? Stop there. Yes or no? That time doesn't work. Or people, you may be running into objections. Oh, I didn't know you had to come out. Can I get a quote over the phone? Things like that get around. Yeah. Right? So objections are really, no, I come out, I give you a quote, there's no obligation. I'll tell you what, I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. and we'll just get you the information. Okay? Wait, what we need to work on is the objectional side of it and get you masterful. And we got to toughen you up a little bit too, because a lot of us will feel this fear or this anxiety or something like that comes over you, and that sucks. I get it, but you're layman. Remember this in your mind while you're dialing. They asked for the information. It's not a cold call. So what you need to do is your job, because Dwayne here at the end of the day, without you, boss, those people are going to get hurt because they don't know shit. You got to homes and they got to get them educated, brother, because you know you follow up with them too, and there's and none of these have, you know, these are $30 to $50 a pop just in this book, and several of them laying around.
Yeah.
These are just, there's a lot of money. I think there's like, you could spend easily, you know, 20, 30, $50,000 in leads every year. But if you're making 300, 400 grand a year, you're not going to care about that too much, you know. We do want to keep lead costs down. So here's another thing, Dwayne. I don't know where you're getting your leads from, and that might be the issue too, you know. But usually it comes down to script, because if you gave me those leads, I would set more appointments than you, obviously. But I want to teach you how to do that. Okay, give me one second. Let me get off here for a second. So, Dwayne, why don't you do me a favor? You have my number?
Yeah, I got your number.
Why don't you text me over, Dwayne, your name, and then I'm going to contact you back. I'm going to go over a few things. But what's your real issue in the appointment setting? Are you having problems with just the dialing, or is it the objections?
It was the objection part.
Okay.
Like I said, I gotten better than what it was. It just, I guess, like you said, I need like you were saying, if I get like a woman to do it, it'll be better, I guess. Because once I get in the house, I'm cool. Whatever. It's whatever when I get in the house.
Good.
But it's just the phone thing.
Well, listen, here, may I use you as an example, Dwayne?
Of course.
Great in the house, but is admitting he's no good on the phone. It's only because Dwayne hasn't done it correctly to see that he's as good as he is in the house. He's that good on the phone too. So
Okay.
he needs to get that, and we wanted to help you with that. So and the leads, brother, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you all the truth right now. I have leads direct mail. Okay, they're $22 a pop. But with a $35,000 bottom end and a $75,000 top end, and Mr. and Mrs. Jones being there, you can't lose. These are the best final expense leads on the market today. And we proved it when we do the dial sessions. You could see us setting appointments. So you've got, these are A leads, by the way, so they never get recycled too. So you're not battling against anybody. That's why we use a third-party vendor for B leads. So our A leads stay here. So we don't want you battling against less. We want you battling against less reps, of course. So this is something I'd like you to try too, and see if this makes change. I'm going to talk to you about your budget a little bit, things like that, see what we got going on. So we got to get Dwayne to master this. So next week when Dwayne comes back, he says, "Oh shit, I got a $5,000 week," but we got to do dial session days too. So dial session. Yeah. Very important. We got to get that down too. Saturday mornings. You can do it late in the evenings, you know. But if you know you're doing it on the weekends, today, 5 p.m., 4 p.m., 3 p.m., start your dial sessions Monday through Tuesday. Your job is not to worry about calling on a Sunday. Your job is to say, you requested information. I am giving you that information, and I will be there till next week, period. Just do it like that in your mind. And get fired up. I'll tell you what you need to do, Dwayne. You like to rock out, like you listen to, get some Tupac up in you. You know what I mean? Get anything you like in you, you know? Listen to Tony Robbins, whatever. But get pumped up before you do it. You know what I mean? Get motivated before you're on the phone. Okay. All right, guys, listen, I got to cut out. Somebody's fixing my Harley out in the garage. I got to help get a solution on that. I want you guys all to please study. Now, Dwayne, too, last thing. In my group, there is script after script after script, and there's objection sheets. They're created for guys like you. And then there's the training with you. Because what I would do is I would take your leads off and I would dial for you. I want to get to the house, and then I want you to prove to me that you do what you said in the house. That way you know it's okay. So I want to talk to you a little more. So text me over that you're, text me over, and we'll get cracking.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Any other questions before I go? Any?
Nah, that was basically it.
Okay, buddy. Remember, it's a very simple script. I'm going to get it to you, and you rock out. Any other questions?
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody else have any questions? Any
Well, all right. Thank you.
Hey, y'all got all this stuff. What other drinks you got besides them y'all got?
Okay, thanks. Okay. Any questions over here? Folks, we got Facebook rocking and rolling too. We got all kinds of people in here. A lot of people going on. See, this is how we do it, guys. And next week, if you want and you need something cured like Dwayne does, I want you to text me your problem and we'll go over it. Okay? We'll do it specifically for your needs. And then by the very next week, you'll be making money. Okay? I want you guys to challenge yourself. I want you to learn some products, get your product knowledge down. And then I also want you to order your leads. Get the product knowledge down, order your leads. You know your products, you're not going to be afraid to go in the field. Okay? So that's the challenge I have for you all. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate you coming. And I just want to say thank you all. Okay? I'll talk to you next week. 10 a.m. Saturday. If you're on my team, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, be on all the training events. And then from there, we will straighten your needs up, okay? I'll see you all next week. You can text me, join the 352-255-2594, and we will move on from there, okay, guys? Thank you. Have a great weekend. I will see you all next week.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Remember, I'm going to put text.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
4 and text point. Let me get your chat. Text. Going.
Well, there's a chance that you might be. It happens.
I will talk to you soon. I will talk to you next week, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.